Cheers, Joe Minoso. Thanks for joining us in Houston.
I love that we're both like rocking Chicago mugs. I'd love to say that this is product placement, but it's not. I actually drink out of this mug every single day.
I love it. Cheers to you. And you know, I'm a South Side girl, so this is one of my favorite shows. I met you the first time back on that one Chicago day in November. So I had a blast meeting you. And listen, let's talk about the new episode coming up, because are you finally going to walk down the aisle with Chloe? Is it going to happen?
Oh, I'm running down the aisle. It is, yes, we finally get there after what seems like a tumultuous season of me doing all of the wedding planning by myself. We are finally at that moment, and it is a beautiful affair. It is the biggest wedding we have ever done on Chicago Fire.
Chloe was worried I'd look puffy in the wedding photos, so I drank a lot of water.
Oh, smart woman.
And everyone is dressed to the nines. And I promise you that Taylor Kinney and Jesse Spencer in a tuxedo does not disappoint.
Well, we like to see you in that tuxedo, Joe. Don't let them take the spotlight.
Yes, no, mine is. Look, the thing is, I can't deny the absolute beauty of those two men. It's palpable.
Sense of romance, just like everybody else.
Shift is just what I need to keep the wedding nerves at bay.
Okay, let's talk real life here for a second, Joe, because what has quarantine life been like for you? Because I got to tell you, I don't even know what day it is. I don't know what day of quarantine we're in. So what's your daily life like right now?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Days of the week definitely are blurred. It's hard to kind of tell what day is which. I'm basing it usually mostly off of what the television schedule is. So I know it's Monday when The Voice is on. And then I kind of progress from there. And then Wednesday obviously is clear to me because of One Chicago. I don't know what I'm going to do once regular programming ends for the season. But, you know, we're doing good. We're hanging in there. We're keeping safe. I've been kind of in the house with the exception of like 2 or 3 times. Yeah. Pretty much since we stopped filming March 16th. So we're doing our part to kind of, you know, practice social distancing and make this thing kind of come to an end as soon as possible. But I'm keeping busy. I'm writing. You can see kind of behind me, I got my idea board back there, and we're putting stuff up. And it's, you know, this is normally right around the time that our hiatus would begin. Generally, I was going to be directing a movie that Christian Stolte was going to be starring in this summer, but unfortunately that's going to be pushed a bit because of all of this. But I'm doing what I can to keep my mind active and pretending that I'm going to work out every day, but doing it like twice a week.
Hey, you know, this is a lot of workout right here. You know,
I'm doing Kegel exercises right now, but you can't tell.
Okay, let's talk back about Chicago Fire, because everybody in my house, my 2 boys, my husband, we all love it. All my friends love it. This is kind of our time. My youngest son, who's 8, is all about Chicago Fire. And I think probably because when he was little, he wanted to be a fireman. So, or even littler than 8.
I was going to say little. It's like, he's not a 40-year-old man. He's
no, I know. But it's such a great show. We love connecting with you guys. The characters are so real. And Joe, like Joe Cruz, you want to hug him. You want to cry with him. We want to be there at the wedding with you. I mean, these characters have evolved over the years.
They really have, yes. And it's, you know, I always say my favorite, I think the biggest compliment we ever get is when people say, oh my God, I sit down with my grandma and my son to watch that show every week. Like the fact that we've been able to touch so many people at so many different age ranges, and it's something that brings families together, just is, you know, the best that we could ask for. It has been a tremendous 8 seasons. And you know, to be a part, what I love about our show specifically is that we're a little set apart from the other two shows on the One Chicago universe because we get to live in a more comedic landscape from time to time.
Right.
And I think it gives you a really human look at these characters. And that's why you're so bonded to them. And that's why they feel like family, because you not only get to see them be heroes, you also get to see them be idiots, you know, from time to time. And so and I think that's important because I think that's what you see from your family and the people that you love. You know, you get to see their shining moments, but you also see their bruises.
I just looked out on the apron, and there's this idiot behind the barricades climbing all over Otis's memorial like he's trying to get a better view.
That's not right.
And let's talk a little bit more about kind of your career, because you got the acting bug pretty young, right? I mean, you did a lot of stage work.
Yeah, I kind of started going down this road my freshman year in high school when my first girlfriend ever took me to go see her in the high school play. And literally at intermission of the first act, I went up to the people who were changing the set and was like, hey, do you need help with anything? Because I was just so enamored by it all. I was so taken by this world that was created by all these people. And I never looked back. I did theater in high school and college. I went to grad school for it, which brought me to Illinois. And then when I moved to Chicago, I did 10 years of Chicago theater here and there, and built up a reputation. And then I decided that I was going to move because I couldn't take the cold of the city anymore. I moved to LA, and 2 months later I booked Chicago Fire, and it brought me right back. And it's
meant to be.
We are 8 years later, which is crazy.
That is so awesome. Any advice for young budding actors out there, somebody in high school that's about to, you know, a lot of these productions, my youngest son's in a 3rd grade production at his school, which obviously right now the rehearsals are being done via Facebook, so the kids can still kind of practice. So we're in a strange time, right?
Imagine that. I didn't even think about something like that, frankly. Like, that's incredible that they're doing that. And wow, that would be so hard. That would be so hard. It's, you know, because really what you're doing there is just practicing lines. Like, it's really, you know, that's the problem. This business is such a social business. It requires so many people interacting, and it's going to be an interesting transition in this world, and trying to figure out how we navigate that now. But yeah, I feel for your son. But in terms of advice for any young actors out there, read everything in the world. I think you gain so much experience and knowledge about other people's perspectives from just reading things, and anything that you're interested in. I mean, I read comic books still, and I love them, and they're the best because I think they're fantastic avenues for storytelling. But just become as well-rounded as you can be, because knowing all those perspectives helps you to live in them. And I think that that's an invaluable resource. So do that. And YouTube, I've been watching a lot of YouTube during this coronavirus thing. I feel like YouTube is like a university. Like, you can learn anything you want on YouTube. It's amazing. So those are my 2 suggestions.
I love it. I love it. Well, cheers to you, my friend from Houston, and congratulations on the wedding that we're going to see tomorrow. And thanks for tuning in, joining us on this call, this call. Maybe I'll see you again in Chicago one day.
I certainly hope so. We will all get through this. And I just want to say thank you so very much to all the first responders, all the nurses, all the doctors, literally saving lives in unprecedented times. So thank you, everybody out there, and look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Thanks, Joe.